Okay, thank you to the Center for Public Health and Diseases, and thanks so much to the selection committee and the administration, together with the University of Gulf. I'm sorry if I've pronounced it wrongly, but I'm very, very grateful for this wonderful opportunity to present to you my on-demand proposal. I want to share some slides here. I want to share some slides. Okay. Okay. Hope you are able to see everything on the screen. Uh, my name, before I continue with the presentation, let me first introduce myself. My name is Christopher Kadala. I am a Ugandan. Uganda is a country found in the east of Africa. I am pursuing a master's degree in One Health and Infectious Diseases. I hold a Bachelor of Science in Public Health and also a diploma in Livestock Health Science. I am the Executive Director for HOPE, for One Health Uganda, HOS Uganda, an organization, a community-driven organization championing One Health approach to disease control and prevention in the communities of Uganda. Uh, Second slide. Before the second slide, today I present to you this proposal or this presentation entitled Bushmeat Consumption and Zoonotic Disease Transmission in Uganda, a One Health approach or a One Health assessment of human, environment, and wildlife interface risks. Introduction. Bushmeat consumption remains common in several parts of Uganda. Wildlife human environment interactions increase zoonotic disease risks. One Health provides an integrated framework for addressing these risks. Yeah, I've attached a photo of some of the community members engaging in bushmeat hunting and consumption. Hope you can be able to see it. Next slide. Background talks about the background of bushmeat consumption and wildlife hunting. Bushmeat refers to the meat obtained from wild animals. Drivers include poverty, cultural beliefs, food security, and commercial trade. Common wildlife involved include birds, primates, antelopes, rodents, and wild birds. Yeah, I have also shared another photo there showing people selling bushmeat on the streets in the communities of Uganda. Why this matters? Approximately 75% of emerging infectious diseases are zoonotic, according to publications. Uganda is a hotspot for zoonotic spillover due to biodiversity and close human-animal interaction. On this point, there has been noticed environmental degradation due to deforestation, which has increased wildlife interaction with the human community, thereby giving room for spread of the zoonoses like Ebola. Now Ebola is a problem in Uganda, and the Minister of Health, together with its partners, is trying to struggle with eradicating it. Environmental degradation increases the wildlife interaction with the human community, and that's what I just talked about. I've shared again another photo there showing a man who had caught a bird from the bush, a wild bird, and he is going to consume it as meat with the other family members. Uh, Major zoonotic diseases linked to bushmeat consumption include we have the Ebola virus disease, we have Marburg virus disease, we have anthrax, brucellosis, monkeypox, rabies, we have salmonellosis and other foodborne infections. And they are endemic in most Ugandan communities. Like previously, we were also battling with anthrax in Western Uganda. Brucellosis is everywhere. It's everywhere in Uganda. And if we try to do a research on brucellosis, you may find that many or 90% of smallholder farmers have brucellosis. Rabies is also a pandemic in Uganda here because we have so many animal bites and also interaction with the wildlife. Like for example, the foxes, etc., has increased the spread of rabies in Ugandan communities. Human interface risks. We have to talk about the interface risks of human to wildlife or with their wildlife. So hunting and handling affected wildlife, and that's what we are talking about. Slaughtering and preparation without protective measures. Of course, they slaughter and prepare without even wearing gloves because they are going to consume. That's the most risk part of it. Consumption of undercooked meat. They're in a rush. There's a photo I shared with the previous slide showing certain man eating a certain wild animal without even if you consider looking at that side too. I think this is it a reptile? I think it's not cooked well. It's undercooked. So those are the risks of wildlife or bushmeat consumption. Cross-border wildlife trade and markets. I had recently visited the borders of Congo and Uganda, and there is transaction there. Markets do trade with bushmeat, so it is also one of the major causes of zoonotic disease transmission among communities, even across borders. The environmental interface risks. Uh, One, deforestation and habitat destruction. I talked about this one earlier, that the deforestation has increased wildlife human interaction because we destroy their habitats, their natural habitats, and the only option is to come into interface with the human community, hence increasing the spread of zoonotic diseases. Climate change and ecosystem disruption. Encroachment into wildlife habitats. This is a common habit in Uganda. People go into the wildlife habitats and start hunting. Poor waste disposal attracting wildlife and rodents. This is very common in most urban areas. We have recently we've been also recognizing the waste management issue in Kampala and the other urban areas, even deep in the trading centers, there is poor waste disposal. People just dump around the cities and towns and municipals. So that also attracts rodents, hence increasing rodents like rats, etc., hence increasing spread of zoonotic diseases. Slide 8. Now the wildlife interface risks, stress and displacement of wildlife populations. This is due to deforestation and destruction of habitats, increased pathogen shedding among wildlife. Of course, when there is human wildlife interaction, the wildlife will carry their pathogens from their habitats, spreading or shedding them off to the human community. That facilitates spread and of zoonotic diseases, reduced biodiversity and ecosystem imbalance, greater human exposure to reservoir species. Next slide. Yeah, I've shared the photos on each and every slide to show the current situation in bushmeat consumption in Uganda. And I think it is something that is too much, increasing the burden of zoonoses in Ugandan communities. The case studies in Uganda, we have Ebola outbreaks associated with wildlife exposure. This is now the current issue in Uganda. We have Ebola outbreaks currently in most Ugandan communities. They have even impaired lockdowns and and curfew in some districts like Mubende, that is found in the central region of Uganda. So we are so scared that it is possible for it to spread even to other communities of Uganda, and it would be so bad for the country. Anthrax outbreaks linked to consumption of infected animal carcasses. This was currently encountered in Western Uganda. Yeah, we had the anthrax outbreak, and it really affected the socio-economic environment space of the country. But associated very risks in caves and forested regions. I have shared a photo of someone that has the slaughtered and is ready to consume a piece of wild meat, and that's very common this side. One health approach, how we are going to handle it through our community-driven organization. That's the hope for One Health Uganda. How can we handle it in a One Health approach? Yeah, integrates human, animal, and the environmental health sectors, encourages multidisciplinary collaboration. That's the One Health approach. Promotes prevention at the human-animal environment interface. I think if we look at the policies, like people doing deforestation without reforestation, we can at least teach those people to know the values of deforestation. I mean, the values of reforestation and afforestation. Recommended interventions. I've also shared another photo here. Someone was carrying, is that a monkey? I think a monkey had killed it with the. This is very common in northern Uganda, and the people just use guns to shoot the monkeys, kill them, and take them for consumption at their homes. Recommended intervention is strengthen zoonotic disease surveillance. Yeah. Community awareness and behavior change communication. This is our point of interest. We have to increase community awareness and also challenge the issue of behavior change. Promote safe protein alternatives and food security. Our people have their beliefs, their cultural beliefs, and some will even claim to get more nutritious substances from bushmeat. So, like the proteins. So, if we promote other safe protein alternatives, like we can encourage them to rear chicken, produce eggs, and rear even livestock that can provide alternative protein sources to fight this issue of bushmeat consumption. Strengthening wildlife conservation and environmental protection under policies. We can advocate for strengthened wildlife conservation and environmental protection. We have the Wildlife Authority in Uganda. We can advocate through that. We have the environmental protection authorities like the NEMA, the National Environment Management Authority. We have the NIFA, the National Forest Authority, and the other agencies that can help in protecting the environment, hence preserving the natural beauty, the natural habitats of wildlife. Enhance outbreak preparedness and response systems. After advocacy, there will be enhanced outbreak preparedness and response systems. Role of research and innovation in this, wildlife pathogen surveillance, risk mapping, and predictive epidemiology. That this is what the ministry is trying to employ in Ebola control, which is now affecting most of the communities near Kong and in its spillover in the central region of Uganda. Yeah, community-based participatory research. This is what we also embark on as Hope for One Health Uganda. We hope to also do community-based participatory research. Innovative public health communication strategies. Yeah, this will help change the cultural beliefs of community members, and they also change their attitude towards bushmeat consumption. Police and community engagement, that's slide 13. Strengthen enforcement against illegal wildlife trade. I think we need to also advocate through the Wildlife Authority of Uganda to strengthen enforcement, empower local leaders and communities, support One Health education in schools and institutions to equip the young ones with the knowledge of zoonoses and the challenges encountered in deforestation and the environmental degradation. Encourage regional and international collaboration. We kindly seek if there is anything to support Hope for One Health Uganda to engage directly in the community awareness and the zoonotic disease surveillance in Ugandan communities. This will help in prevention and control of different zoonoses like Ebola, brucellosis, the rampant Ebola as is now in a pandemic. We have anthrax. There are very many, even Rift Valley fever. My conclusion, bushmeat consumption represents a significant public health and environmental challenge. Reducing zoonotic spillover requires integrated One Health action. Protecting ecosystems ultimately protects human and animal health. Yeah, I've also shared a photo there showing someone, I think he was slaughtering that bushmeat for community consumption. Because you see, as you can interpret that photo, it's not for only home consumption. He's wishing he's going to sell to the community. Yeah, in my acknowledgements, I acknowledge the Center for Public Health and Zoonoses for the opportunity to present again another recording about the bushmeat consumption in Uganda. Acknowledgement goes to the University of Gulf for the wonderful support. I also would like to acknowledge Hope for One Health Uganda, a community-driven organization embarking on One Health approaches to prevent disease in the Ugandan communities. And the zoonotic surveillance and prevention is among the symposium participants and collaborators. I also acknowledge you. Thank you so much. May God bless you. I remain Christopher Kadala. from Uganda, the Executive Director of Hope for Health Uganda. Uh, may God bless you. Thanks for listening.